So, while everyone is worried, will Trump force schools to reopen? What's going on in the United States with schools? Canada, you know, they're having they're having their own set of problems. So, the Calgary Board of Education releases a return to school plan. Calgary is the largest city in the province of Alberta. Alberta is basically the Texas of Canada. The dumbest motherfuckers possible congregate there, and they decide, how are we going to make this fucking province worse than every other province combined? I know. And then they roll out any of these fucking stupid ass plans. So, okay, alright. Again, I just want to emphasize for my American viewers here. There's this like liberal fantasy. Oh, I'm going to move to Canada. Canada's fucking awful. It's garbage. It's shit. The only difference is it's shit with sprinkles. At least they've got some form of healthcare. We don't. At least they do. Pharmacies, actually, pharmaceuticals and prescriptions aren't really covered, but hey, they got something going on. So let's read Calgary's education plan. Calgary, again, the biggest city in Alberta. Okay, well, what will the fall school year look like? It is a question parents and students have been asking. What will the fall school year look like? On Thursday, the Calgary Board of Education released its re-entry plan for students, moving ahead with what it calls Scenario 1. Again, they always have these cool names. Phase 1. Red Zone. Scenario Alpha Zeta Bravo. It's like, dude, this isn't fucking Alien, okay? Just fucking talk like a normal person. Or near normal operations according to the CBE. According to the CBE, the school year will start in Scenario 1, but there is a chance schools may have to transition to Scenario 2 or 3 throughout the school year. The decision will be determined by Alberta Health and Alberta Education. Again, Alberta, the governing parties there are conservative psychopaths. Imagine Texas, and then imagine Texas, except they say A after everything. That's Alberta. Okay, so these people are dumb as fuck. Alright? Dumb as fuck. All CBE schools will have been given guidelines to prepare for Scenario 1 and will make adjustments based on their unique school community and physical layout of each school, the release said. So there's a lot of shit here. I'm not going to read everything, but I want to read this highlighted part, and I've got some other parts I want to talk about. This whole thing is basically not really declaring anything. It's just describing how schools have always been like, and this is my example. Also, they use a lot of terms like recommending and where possible and so forth. So none of this is actually forced. None of it's mandated. None of this is rules and regulations. Schools can regulate that you can't wear a certain type of fucking fabric. They can regulate that your skirt has to be X amount of meters long, but they can't have a mask mandate. That's the thing. It's like, okay, that's weird. So keep in mind the flowery, bizarre language here. Where possible, desks will be separated from each other by 2 meters, or metries, for those of you that use English like normal people. If that distance cannot be maintained, I'm sorry for my Canadians out there. If that distance cannot be maintained, and also Europeans, I'm sorry. If that distance cannot be maintained, desks or tables should be arranged so students are not facing each other. Pittman said physical distancing is not the only measure that is identified through the guidelines provided by Alberta Education. At every turn, we cannot rely solely on one measure as the solution to limit or create safety of the school environment. It is really important that we understand all of these measures. The importance of hand hygiene. Masking is recommended. Now again, we know at this point that coronavirus is mostly airborne, so get this. Also mostly airborne, but mostly in droplets from when people speak to each other. Like when I spit all over the camera sometimes because I have a buildup of saliva when I make videos that are longer than 5 minutes, right? You know, I just speak so often and so fast sometimes the particles just go fucking flying. Now, if I had corona and you were, say, a little bit in front of me, that particle might land on your fucking knuckle. And then you might do this, and then you might get coronavirus. So, like, I'm just trying to outline this. So it's mostly transported in particles. It's mostly transported in droplets. Parents are asked to send their children to school with refillable water bottles. Drink fountains, however, can remain open. Again, this is not anything. This is literally nothing. This is just describing how schools have operated since I went to school. Yeah, it's probably recommended to have a water bottle. Okay. Are you going to give every single student a water bottle and have, like, fillable water bottle stations that, like, someone actually fucking monitors to make sure that people aren't getting anything on? Like, here's the thing. All it takes is one kid to put their mouth on the spigot, and it's over. It's over. All it takes is one kid. You know, and you're not supposed to do it. I used to do it. I used to put my mouth on the spigot. What? I was like fucking 8 years old. I didn't know any better. I didn't want to splash it all over me. I used to put my mouth right on the spigot when I was a kid. All it takes is one kid with coronavirus to put their mouth on that spigot. And then every single time that spigot shoots water up into a bottle or not into a bottle. So stupid. So stupid. There is to be no sharing of food or drinks between staff or students. Like classrooms, lunch tables will be rearranged or removed where possible to maintain physical distancing. One thing that's super important here is that it's pretty fucking cold in Canada. Now, especially in the fall and in the winter. So they're going to be having recycled heating all over their fucking places. Now, I know when I went to school, a lot of the schools I went to still had asbestos. Right? A lot of schools are not up to modern health and safety conduct and codes, okay? So a lot of schools have very poor, very outdated ventilation systems and air circulation systems. Again, this is a breeding ground for stupidity. So I just wanted to cover this because there's a lot of Americans out there that have this fantasy that, oh, maybe I'll go to Canada and I'll live out my liberal American dream. Yeah, sure. It might be better in Canada than in the United States. But I mean, honestly, the bar is so low at this point. Like, it is... like, you can read this whole article yourself, and I recommend doing it if you want to laugh. But again, this whole thing is just describing how schools normally operate. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for watching.